Hello. Greetings to you out there. How are you doing? Beloved viewer of Regnum Continuous Legal Education. Yes, we are back. Tell a brother to tell a brother and a sister to tell a sister that your long awaited one of your interesting programs on Star Cross Television is back. I mean the Regnum Continuous Legal Education. I am Peace Smith, your host on this edition. How are you doing? It's been a long time. So today we have something very important for you. We will be looking at a very interesting topic that embodies you as a person, that you need to sit tight and listen. Remember, this program is all about taking you around the corridors of law. What you need to know as a person, what you need to know as an individual, whether you're a law practitioner or you are not. But know that you have to always have at the back of your mind everything that has to do with law. So when we come back from this break, let's take a short break. When we come back, I will be introducing the topic, today's edition topic, and of course the discussant on set with me. So stay tuned. We will be right back.
Esteemed viewer, when moments matter, when memories must live forever, Star Cross Television is here to capture it all. We warmly welcome you to another season with us. We are fully prepared and passionately committed to bringing your celebrations, milestones, and visions to life, because you are the reason we exist. From the beauty of traditional marriages to sacred marriage blessings, from colorful birthday celebrations to purpose-driven send-forth ceremonies, from grand project unveiling and honorable celebrations of life to joyful child blessings, from launching and inaugurations to music concert and spirit-filled fellowship celebrations, we cover it all with excellence. Not to forget, we also deliver top-quality music videos, film production, eye-catchy screwbars, exciting jingles, and so much more. At Star Cross Television, we don't just record events, we tell your stories with professionalism, creativity, and passion. For more bookings and inquiries, please contact +234 704 554 1089, +234 809 473 5538, or +234 814 083 6948. Star Cross Television, the voice of the universe. Keep watching, keep believing, keep celebrating with Star Cross TV. Hashtag support Star Cross TV. Hashtag voice of the universe. Hashtag keep watching Star Cross TV, God's own TV station.
Welcome back if you're just tuning in. It is the program Regnum Continuous Legal Education here on Star Cross Television. I am Peace Smith. And on this episode, remember, throughout this year, we haven't had any. So this is like our first one. So today, we will be looking at a very interesting topic. According to the resource person here on site with me, he's saying that the topic is a very apt one, so you have to stay glued. Grab a pen, grab a paper. Today we will be discussing. All right, so the topic for this episode is understanding the differences between litigation and ADR. Understanding the differences between litigation and ADR. What do I mean by ADR? All right, ADR is an acronym for Alternative Dispute Resolution. Alternative Dispute Resolution. So today we will understand, we will get to know what are the differences between litigation and ADR. So to help us digest this topic for today, I have Christ Ambassador, Brother Asiya Okun. Asiya, am I correct?
Yeah,
good to have you here, sir. It's been a long time.
It's my pleasure.
You're looking good.
Yeah, welcome.
How do you feel? I mean, it's been a long time.
I feel good.
So you feel good missing me, right?
No, I never miss you. We've been talking, you know. So
Okay.
in everything we give thanks to God.
All right. So say hello to our
Oh,
audience.
hello viewers. We are happy to be back on set so that we can continue interacting with you. You phone in, we impact you with the legal knowledge. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Yes, Brother Asia is from the BCS Legal Department. Yes, so today, like I said, we have a topic which is understanding the differences between litigation and alternative dispute resolution. So now to your understanding,
Yes.
what does alternative dispute resolution mean from the legal perspective and how does it function?
Thank you very much. Alternative dispute resolution is an aspect of the law which assists litigants to be able to get to their ultimate end of what they which is justice. The ultimate aim is justice. That's where they are going to. However, it has a difference between litigation.
Okay.
Litigation is where you go to court
Okay.
and you are looking for the same justice. You know, so but they have differences. As we progress, we're going to highlight those differences that they have. Both of them are aiming towards one goal, but they have different approaches towards the same justice. So those are instruments to achieve justice in the society.
Okay, so by definition, how can you define litigation and how can you define alternative dispute resolution by definition?
By definition, litigation is an aspect of the law which party goes to court. You must go to court for litigation. While ADR, alternative dispute resolution, is an aspect which you don't go to court.
Okay. Do you go to court to plead for litigation? To plead for a case or to ask the court to do something on your
before
behalf?
the court.
Because I know we have people who are not really law inclined, so we have to break these words.
The ultimate aim of going to court lies on the parties, not on the court. They have disputes. They now felt this dispute, instead of carrying clubs or acts or this, and let them go for justice somewhere. Both parties go to court for that, for justice. Okay. ADR, alternative dispute resolution, is also an aspect of attaining justice or achieving justice. But as we will progress in this program, you see their differences. Both of them are aiming towards the same goal.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. That was a very beautiful introduction to the topic. Now, let's look at, we know that when we are talking about litigation and ADR, we are referring, just like you're saying, pleading for justice or seeking for justice. All right. So now in Nigeria, which one is mostly suitable? Is it litigation or alternative dispute resolution? Which one is most suitable?
It depends on the party. It depends on the party, what the party wants.
Okay. Because
by the time we traverse this program, you see their advantages and disadvantages. It depends on the parties that elect which to go. For example, by the time we still go on, you realize that some companies, especially foreign companies, they prefer ADR because of its own characteristics. Its advantage is different from litigation. They wouldn't want their name to be exposed because those are one of the advantages of ADR. Okay. Confidentiality, unlike litigation, which is purely exposure. Everything is done. The door must be open. Windows must be open. People must be there. So there's no confidentiality there. So most companies enshrine it in their MOU, that is memorandum of understanding, that as we are going, because generally people don't think they will go to court, but at the end of it, they go to court. I mean, they look for justice. But it is enshrined in some of these MOU that we wouldn't like to go to court. We wouldn't like to go to litigation. We prefer ADR. Okay. Because of its advantage. And it is a lot of advantages in ADR, a lot, unlike litigation. By the time as I've told you, by the time we traverse this program, you see there are differences exposed.
All right, thank you. Now let's look at issues where we have like complex or high-stake disputes. So where does ADR mostly suited?
ADR comes in there, though it's complex. ADR comes in, still depends on the party. What do they want? Okay. What do they want? It depends on what they want. Time is of essence. Time, confidentiality is of the importance. Though it's complex, but I, as a legal officer, will go for litigation. But parties may not go for litigation because of reason which we're going to expand as we traverse.
All right. Okay, that's very, very beautiful. That ADR is mostly suitable sometimes for complex issues, which some companies go for. All right. Now let's move to looking at the characteristics of ADR. Which do you think, or what are the characteristics of ADR?
ADR has confidentiality, as I've said. And it does not expose the parties. And it is time limit. It's not time consuming. For example, litigation, I will marry both of them as I'm talking, not only ADR. Litigation can go for 1 to 5 years. Okay. Adjournment and counter adjournment. Paying lawyers, where those things are not found in ADR. ADR, you hardly pay lawyers. Time too is of essence in ADR. Though lawyers are there, but their fee maybe will not be as much as when you are in court. Because when you are adjourn matter, continue adjournment, that means you must pay appearance fee, professional fee, you photocopy document, a lot of document will be evident, that's people who are coming, and you get me. But those things are not found in ADR. ADR, depending on the type of ADR you want to go to, mediation or arbitration, you know. Yeah. So those ones now, they have confidentiality.
What about negotiation?
Negotiation. Negotiation is one of the, it is mediation and arbitration, which is very strong. Okay. But in mediation, you negotiate. Both of them you negotiate. But it depends on the work of the mediator or the arbitrator in each of them. Okay. They have their function in each of the subhead you have called in. Okay. You know? So, if you ask me in a company, so many aspects of the law, ADR comes in there because of a cost. One important thing is cost. And time. In a litigation we go to, after I've told you 1 to 5 years, adjournment and counter adjournment, strike all this. But in ADR, it's just a kind of in-house kind of organization. You know, there's a facilitator in a case like a mediator. Okay. He facilitates to see that the parties come to amicable resolution of their dispute. Where arbitrator will act as a jury. But time there will be very, very of essence too, because it will not be adjourning matters. You can just take 2 to 3 sittings, and matters they have arrived at the justice they desire.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So can ADR outcome be enforced by the law or by the court? Sorry.
Good. It's a good one. You know, ADR, it depends. The answer is depends. Depends on which of the ADR are you going for. We have 4 of them, but here we are going to emphasize on 2. Which is mediator and arbitrator. Okay. In a mediator, it is not binding, it's not enforceable.
Mediator is someone pleading on your behalf.
Facilitating.
A facilitator on your behalf.
No, we don't go into it deep, but let us know that.
No, we have to, because
in mediator,
we have the audience
they will not go. The audience are listening, yes, they will not.
They have to
mediation is not binding.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a word there. But in arbitration, is binding. So
when do you say, or when do you use the word arbitration, when it comes to law? Like, what do you mean by
in arbitration, the arbitrator acts as a jury. Okay. He acts as if he's in the court. Though so many aspects of the law, of the court processes will be limited. Unlike mediation, in mediation, he facilitates, he let them get to what they want. And to get me, though the outcome of mediation is not binding, it's not enforceable. That was your question. But in arbitration, it's enforceable. You can use it as a consent judgment. The court, that is, the court often advise for mediation and for arbitration at times. That's ADR. Then when they go, they come back and inform the court of the outcome of what they have arrived. There and then, the court will not take it as a consent judgment. That means binding. Arbitration is binding, unlike mediation and a negotiation and conciliation. Those ones are just try to put the house in order between parties. But the binding one is the arbitration. Okay,
thank you so much. Beloved audience, we are just getting started. Like I said, grab your pen, grab your paper, because there is a lot for you to jot down. Just like you, I'm also learning on this site, and I believe you're also learning. So we are still talking about the topic, understanding the differences between litigation and ADR, alternative dispute resolution.
You can see the name. alternative dispute resolution.
Okay.
The litigation is dispute resolution, but it has its own. That is the normal, innovative. Is the way of litigation. But this one now alternative to the other one.
That if you don't want
If
to
you
use
don't,
the
you
other
don't
one.
want, no, you have reason you don't want to be there. Because one, you don't want to be exposed, because the other one I've told you is in court. Everybody will see you, but mediation is a in-house organization.
When you're looking for something more peaceful?
More peaceful. In every way it's peaceful. Even in the court it's peaceful. But the court has where in a situation where everybody will come is free. When litigants are there, anybody, you don't know who is there. That's, we call it gallery. Okay. In the gallery, anybody can come in court. Unlike ADR, you must be invited. You must have interest.
So it's based on
interested parties.
Okay.
Not anybody. Gallery, you don't know who are in the galleries. You know?
So we'll get to that point where I'll have to ask you if there's any secrecy attached, like when it has to do with maybe using the alternative way than maybe going to court. Maybe what are they actually seeking for, you know, when they use the ADR form or rather than using litigation. We'll get there. So let's take a short break. When we come back, Regnum continues, legal education continues. Please stay tuned.
Okay.
Many are called, few are chosen.
Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken and the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken and the other left. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour the Lord cometh. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what wash the thief would come, he would have washed, and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore, be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh. In the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Many records, but few are chosen. Many records, but few are chosen. Many records, many records, many records, but few are chosen. Many records, but few are chosen. Many records, but few are chosen.
This new kingdom, we are saved by grace. This new kingdom, we are saved by mercy. Let us be humble. Let us be patient. Let us be silent before the King. I say, let us be humble. Let us be patient. Let us be silent before the King.
Many records, but few are chosen. Many records, but few are chosen. Many records, many records, many records, but few are chosen.
Jesus said to them, wash ye and pray, that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Wash ye and pray, ye sons of God. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Wash ye and pray, ye sons of God.
Many records, but few are chosen. Many records, but few are chosen. Many records, but few are chosen.
Peter said unto his master, I will follow you unto the end of time. Whatever may be, I will follow you I will follow you unto the end. I say, whatever may be, I will follow thee. I will follow you unto the end.
Many records, but few are chosen. Many records, but few are chosen.
Kings and queens, we are called.
Many records, many records, but few are chosen.
Choose ye this day who ye shall serve. You cannot serve two masters. For me and my family, we shall serve the Lord. We shall serve His holiness all over. For me and my family, I say, we shall serve the Lord. We shall serve His holiness all over.
Many records, but few are chosen. Many records, but few are chosen. Many records, many records, many records, but few are chosen. Many records, many records, but few are chosen.
BCS Music.
Oh yes, welcome back. We are still talking about litigation and alternative dispute resolution here in Regnum Continuous Legal Education. Welcome back. So I still have here with me on set our very own guest, Christ Ambassador Sia Okona. Sia, welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
So now you've given us the definition of litigation and of course looked at ADR so far, what it professes and the advantages so far. Now let's talk about in the aspect where let's look at these aspects when it has to do with the duration. So how long does it take ADR to actually function?
Good. It's a very apt question. You see, that's why people choose ADR. Most people like ADR.
Okay.
It's just like, because ADR doesn't give you time frame. A good ADR, like what we're doing here, just 2 or 3 sittings, then we have arrived at justice. Unlike litigation. Litigation, they do not give you time. They will give you time frame if you don't come and institute your matter. It's time barred. That's what we call time barred. But when the matter starts, you cannot tell the judge or the jury when it's going to end. Unlike ADR. ADR it doesn't have a time frame, but it's expedited. It's very, very speedy. It wouldn't give you, let me say, Like me, I engage in a lot of ADR. ADR can give you, let me say, 1 month. 1 month, you arrive at justice.
Okay.
That's the point. That's the difference between the two.
Okay. Do we have witnesses when the use of witnesses when it comes to alternative dispute
Yes, we
resolution?
do have, but not...
Because I understand that in litigation we
yes.
have, there is witnesses, you know, various sittings and all of that. But
for
do we have
example,
that
let me use arbitration.
Okay.
Arbitration is a system where the arbitrator is acting as a jury. So he must listen to witnesses to be able to come out with the justice the parties are looking for. He even have documents to those people don't have document to present. For example, land matter, the one we just had in our peace board. The people present what they used to obtain this facility because it was all about facility. And they were witnesses. We listen to witnesses. Then the main thing there is time. I've told you in litigation 1 to 5 years. Okay. More even 10. There are people who like there's a matter my family is handling. My parents they are all dead. The matter is still there. They will go and appeal, and which such things are not there in ADR.
So why does it take so many sittings?
That is the aspect of the law. That is how the law grants. It grants slowly, but it will attain justice. Those are one of the reasons it's called litigation, because it will take time to decipher, to bring out the truth from these people. Litigants are not all of them. Litigants, you know, both parties are right in their own position, but it takes you now time to know who is telling the wrong thing among them. So you will not just rush over it, unlike ADR. ADR, you are not rushing, but that is how ADR is built.
Please, I would like to come in here. It's like saying, okay, if you need a passport, if you need it immediately, you pay for you pay double, you know, to get it under the space of 1 month. Then if you want to use the normal process, the duration of 3 months, now you pay the normal price. Okay. So I don't understand using this example.
No, it's not like that. It's not like that.
I don't know if you actually know where I'm heading.
I understand where you are coming.
You said, I'm sorry, you said that for ADR, you can get your result very fast, whereas litigation, you have to do number of sittings, you know, to prove with the litigants and all of that. So why is the difference there? Why can't you actually do the same for litigation without having to, you know, take period of 6 years, 5 years? Because I know of someone as of last year, the person told me that he has been on a particular case for over, I think about a number of 4 years, if I'm not wrong. So now you're talking about ADR. If we can propose ADR to this person, it shows that this person can actually get this done within 1 month. So what's the difference?
However, ADR does not go for all. You first started with some high stage matters.
High stage issues.
So those kind of, it's not all matter that ADR goes for. But most, yes, not all. For example, crime. I've seen in some of my book, crime. Crime is purely criminal matters.
No, it wasn't.
Which the police must be involved, prove and counter-prove, prosecutor, this and that. Okay. You know, but some people do take their criminal matter out from court. Which is not proper, if you ask me. It's not proper because it's purely an offense against the state. It's not against the litigant that brought it before the court. But along the line, for peace, these peace people are preaching for peace to prevail. They will say tamper justice with mercy. They will now try to bring the matter out from court. You see, so ADR now will not be proper in that kind of a situation. However, when they say, please let us take the matter back home, that back home is purely ADR. Because in most ADR activities, the arbitrator, the negotiation, they are not vested with the aspect of the law, most of them. But in actual sense, it must be a legal officer that organizes ADR. Okay. Because most of the things they do in our villages is purely ADR. They don't have the aspect of the law because it's as per speed and like little weaknesses, little proof and counter-proof. Those things makes ADR to be faster. It's not as per you painted it scenario. Passport and no. It's just ADR is just like somebody saying plate bargaining. Do you know what it's called, plate bargaining?
No.
No, plate bargaining is an aspect of the law, which is a criminal aspect of it. Somebody takes over $1 billion of naira from the state cover. Then the state say, come and give us some. That's plate bargaining. And I wouldn't like to mention names there because we haven't said, but that is just an example I'm trying to paint to you. It's purely a criminal matter, but it is the wife. You know, the wife gave us this law. They too brought in that aspect of the law that I told you, plea bargaining. So plea bargaining make it simpler and easier for the I'm an accused person, so I'm a suspect to off the hook. And the state also, instead of going for long, that is the essence, this thing we are talking, litigation and ADR. Litigation, you go through all the gamut of the law. It will take years before you can hang this man. But with a plea bargaining, give us some, take some, and the whole thing is gone. And that is what ADR is also all about. Instead of we going to the long arm of the law, we say, come, let us reason together.
Okay.
That is all about the ADR, and they are talking about litigation. But you can't rule out the court, because the court is where we have litigation. However, too, like arbitration, the matter, the decision, the award there often come to court, as I've told you before, as a concerned judgment. So the court still has hand in what is happening in the ADR.
Okay. All right, thank you so much. Yes, we are still talking about understanding the differences between litigation and alternative dispute resolution. At this point, we would like to, allow our audience, make sure you send in your comments via our Facebook page and, of course, our YouTube channel at BCS Starcross TV International. Let's get to hear what you have to say about this. If you have actually been faced, by such a situation where you have to employ litigation or ADR, please do well to call us in or send in your comment, because we have a legal practitioner here to do justice to that. Now, I have my next question, sir.
Yes.
Can these two be used, at once?
Very good question. You see, they go simultaneously. They cannot go. They can go simultaneously.
Okay, side by side?
Yes. Because at times, the court do advocate ADR, depending on the matters they see. But I've told you, at the end of it, they must always come back to report back to the court.
Okay.
They go, at times they go simultaneously. That is, the litigation is ongoing, ADR is ongoing. I think you get me. That is why some people say, let's take this matter out from they ask the matter to be taken to that was what I told you, say all these our local way of resolving matter is purely ADR. That's why they can go simultaneously.
Okay.
However, since arbitration is binding, the award there in our law 2013 tells us that the award by the arbitrator is binding on the parties, just like the verdict in the court, which is binding on. However, this is another aspect of ADR and litigation. Litigation is win-lose. Win-lose. Somebody must lose, somebody must win. But often in ADR is win-win. The party goes back with something and happier than win-lose. I think you can see the ground of the
I'm trying to follow up as well.
Yes, so that's why most people go for ADR, because it's always win-win. I must always have something.
Okay. But at the tail end, there's no conflict. There should be a conflict resolution.
Resolution, that's what it's called, conflict resolution. They have to resolve that conflict. Everybody go back home happy.
Okay.
But in court, somebody must lose. Somebody must be a loser. Somebody must win. That is the end. Everybody is hard going to court, because these two people say they have to win. But somebody must lose. Somebody must win. But often in ADR, not always, often, is win-win situation.
I think some persons tend to employ ADR. That is, if there's a little understanding between both parties. Remember, I said something about them. There's a win-win between the two parties. So there must be a little form of understanding between both parties before they seek the need for maybe a peaceful, because resolution. I see that, a platform as a peaceful resolution. Yes. Not, okay, one person, you have to lose no matter what, and the other person winning.
No. We have to go back, everybody happy. A win-win situation. Then, however, if you are not satisfied, you can always go back to the court.
Wow.
That's the point, because the court is there.
Okay, thank you so much. I know we have various
But we have said about the binding aspect of arbitrator.
Yeah, you said
with arbitrator, how will you go back to court? Because it's already binding on you. If you go to court, a good judge or a good magistrate or a jury will always have recourse to go back to the award in the arbitration panel. So you may not say you are going to court. If you go to court, you are already dead on arrival because you already got an award there.
Award there, right? Okay, I believe our audience watching right now, you understand what we are saying. Please, if you do not, our phone line is open, or you can actually, go to our Facebook page or go to our YouTube channel and drop your comments. Remember, he is here to do justice to all your questions. I can't answer them, but I know he's here. All right, so now let's look at, we understand that this litigation and ADR, they all fare in different ways in various countries, and of course away from Nigeria. Now looking at United Kingdom, permit me to go there to look at it briefly. Looking at United Kingdom, litigation in the United Kingdom, some of the characteristics could be governed by the Civil Procedure Rules, CPR. You have to explain that, that litigation in United Kingdom is governed by the Civil Procedure Rules, CPR. Please, how you explain that? So another aspect of the characteristics is it has strong judicial case management.
That is ADR.
Litigation in the United
okay.
Kingdom.
Good, yeah.
Now, another aspect of it is active encouragement of ADR before trial.
Good.
That's where my concern is.
Let me come in there.
Please do.
Let me come in. You see, most courts, they call it pre-trial.
Okay.
Pre-trial. Most courts do pre-trial before the actual trial. And pre-trial is purely ADR. They want to know the nitty-gritty of the matter. Then some of them can even end at pre-trial level. Now you are bringing Britain. We are in Nigeria. We call Nigerian law.
But I'm coming.
Let me come in there. They brought the law to us.
Okay.
But we have to domicile the law here.
Well,
I wish you were asking me of a CPC of Nigeria.
Definitely, we'll still look at that.
So now, let's just go in there because we borrowed all those things from them and we have to, our law is tailored towards theirs. So those are the rules and regulations that guide litigation. Like here we have civil procedural rule, we have high court rule, we have magistrate rule. Those are the rules. We can, a judge or a magistrate or a jury does not act outside those rules. That's what you are bringing.
Yeah.
We have those rules because lawyers will always bring you back. If you are going outside, for example, you want to descend in the arena, into the arena, a lawyer will call you to order that no, this is what the rule says. That's the essence of those rules you are quoting. Either British, American, or any of the rules. If you bring it, although here in Nigeria we must domicile it before we use it in our court. Now, if you bring those rules guides the jury. Those rules guides the judge on the modus operandi of how the court should be operated. Unlike in ADR. ADR now have their own act, which has just come out 2013. If you go through it, it has 2013.
Okay.
2013. Those acts, what is enshrined in those acts are the guideline on how the arbitrator, the negotiator should act. You know, as we were talking, you see, the negotiator has his own way of doing it, while the arbitrator has his own way of doing it. The other one allowed the party facilitate them to get to what they want, while this one is acting as if it's the court as an arbitrator. So all of them, all what they are doing is just, it's not a rule of thumb.
Okay.
It is bound by the act and by the law. Those law you just quoted, CPC, CP, like here we have CA, criminal code, high court rules, magistrate court rules. All those rules are those rules that guide a judge.
Okay.
A judge those judges are lawyers who study their law in their various universities. But when you are sitting as a jury or say a court, you must be bound by the dictates of those acts or rules.
Okay, now let's focus on CPR in the aspect of litigation. So we understand that in Nigeria, they say we have the Sharia law, like we have the northern, and then we have the one that is common for south and all of that. So now in the aspect of, presiding over a case, maybe a case that has been longing for so many years, and it involves persons of two different, one from the northern, and
Not the northern, at times it could be religion.
Okay, perhaps. So how do you settle this if
Sharia
the issues of ADR is being, seeked upon and litigation is also...
It depends on the party. This thing depends on the party. What does the party want? Because the court does not go and tell you, come, bring your matter. No. It is the party that determines where they want to go.
They decide.
They decide. Though, in a practice, at times, a good jury or a magistrate or a judge can advise them to go for this other one, depending on the how serious the matter is. Because there are some matters which is frivolous in nature. However, I've told you that companies, they want their secrecy. They are big companies, it's not frivolous at this point. But they have enshrined in their MOU, we started that way, that upon any dispute that arises between should be taken to arbitrator. So the court lacks jurisdiction at that point, except on appeal. And on appeal based on the arbitrator, because that one is an award. But if it is in negotiation, reconciliation, it's not binding. So that is the beauty of litigation. Litigation has its own advantage because you may not be satisfied with the jury, you go on appeal. There's room for appeal. Unlike ADR minus arbitration, because arbitration has an award which can be taken as a court order. But the other three does not have any binding effect. Okay. You just go everybody on your own. So if you ask me, litigation is one of the best because you still have room for appellate. Appellate court, hierarchy of courts.
You keep going.
If you are not satisfied with this one, you go to this one, up to the Supreme Court.
Whereas we should seek peace.
Peace is when you are talking about religion. The people in the world don't know peace, except the Father give them peace.
Okay.
If you have peace, you won't go to any of these two places. You will say Tabasemada as the Father likes it. But let's look at it. We don't go to court. You are aware of that. Sure. But we have lawyers fellowship. It's one of the first fellowship in our system. And that means Father knows the importance of these things. That's why it makes us to be one of the first professional body which has a fellowship in the system. You know? Why is it? So that so many, like for example, the Father in me is a member of Peace Board. Instead of you going, taking your brother to court, bring it to Peace Board. We are lawyers there. We can iron this thing out. And that's purely ADR. We don't do anything. This topic you just brought is very apt. Because that is what we do in our Peace Board. We don't go to litigation. We just hear them, and then we use our knowledge as lawyers and resolve this matter amicable. We have resolved a lot of matters and then even advice. Because ADR at times need advice. Not purely justice. This thing you've heard this way, you've heard this way. Why couldn't you do it this way? And so that peace will prevail. Okay. That's it.
All right, that's very beautiful. Yet, despite the fact that in Brotherhood of the Cross and Star, we do not encourage people going to going to court, sorry. But then I feel there is need for you to be equipped with every knowledge that concerns litigation.
Because ignorance of the law is not an excuse.
It's not an excuse. Okay, thank you
because,
so
for
much,
example,
sir.
they say, we don't take people to court. But people take us to court.
So in such situations now, where persons take you to court or takes a BCS member to court, and is using litigation instead of, using the alternative disputes aspect. So what do you do? Do you follow up over
Let me
and over again?
answer. You see, that's why we have lawyers fellowship. We have a chamber at 35 Lawyers are then employed by the Father, paid too. That's why you have to know the scripture. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. Ignorance of this scripture too is a problem, because when you are vested with your gospel, nobody can take you to court and win you, because you will not go air. You know, we have book of Judges. So many books in the Bible are written by lawyers, like Apostle Paul. These people use the law and they wrote those laws there. You, a Christian or a Muslim, you have to follow the dictates of the law. If you follow the detail of the law, you go to court, you always come victorious. You know, so somebody taking us to court, you have to follow it. That means you erred. We are on set, quite all right. And so many of our brethren too, they erred. So just to say, he split. I brought him plea again in the other time that I spoke. It's now, there are times that we plead. Okay. Tamper justice with mercy. ADR is not pronounced in Nigeria for now. If ADR is well pronounced, most people will be going for ADR.
I will definitely get there. Thank you so much, sir, for that beautiful response. Now you have actually talked about the United Kingdom. Sorry, I'll still take you. Because there is need, to touch on
because
all
our set is universal.
Yes, there is need to touch on various countries to understand better why, if there is anything actually lacking when we come to our own system. Yes. Now, let's look at the United States. One of the key characteristics when we are talking about the use of ADR. So they say, from their law, it is often mandatory before trial. The use of ADR is often mandatory
Let's
before.
iron that issue. Let's iron that point before we forget.
Yes, before
you see,
trial.
They say it's mandatory before trial. That is trial before trial.
You know, in United Kingdom, litigation, then before trial,
ADR before ADR.
So go on.
ADR, if that is why I say that is a foreign law. Our law does not say so. But our law advice, I gave us that leverage to advise that you can go for ADR. Because with ADR, mind will soften. You know, some of these things they go to court is heat of passion. Everybody's so that aspect of the law that you are quoting for the United Kingdom is what ought to be.
Okay.
Go to ADR before proper trial. And you get me? Because by the time you finish ADR, you might have, even because a good mediator, a good reconciliator will put you in order before you go to litigation. Because that one is win-win, I've told you. Why, when you come to litigation, it's win-lose. Somebody must lose, somebody must win. So I prefer what is happening in that UK, that you go for ADR before litigation. But in our domain here, in our climb here, people go straight to court. Straight to court. When some of us we look at that matter, we advise that it will better. Like, personally, I even go to the extent of going to the Paramount Ruler to advise them to take some of this matter back. As they are taking it back to their domain, it's purely ADR. Because it will not be Ogoway to see a high chief in a community brought before the court, you know? So how will you rate that? How will you give judgment? You know? So what you do now is you advise for ADR. This ADR that UK, how I wish Nigeria will adopt this system. You go for ADR. When you are not satisfied, you now go for litigation.
Okay, thank you so much. So still on the United States, other aspects or other characteristics of it is strong arbitration culture in business contracts.
Good. Let me add on that issue. I have already told you that businessmen, business mongols, they don't like to be exposed in court. Court is just where every Tom and Harry can know your secret. Because what you are talking is about people's secret. So big business prefer ADR. It is enshrined on their MOU before they even come in. The ADR is one of the big topics that people even go to study for 2-3 years to be able to mediate. Because you don't go to court, but you stay there. The company will be coming with their matters. Because it is written, it's enshrined in their document that as anything that arises between us and you must be expressly stated. So when it is expressly stated, you can't go for litigation.
All right, thank you so much for that point being analyzed very well. So now, still part of the characteristics, let me just run it over first.
No, as we try them as they come.
Thank you so much, sir. Still, as part of the characteristics for alternative dispute resolution for United States, we have it is enforceable under Federal Arbitration Act.
You see there, that's what that point you are saying there. They are bringing the Federal Arbitration Act. Why here in Nigeria, arbitration is purely enforceable because of the they have Act 2. This act that they are putting there, we have in Nigeria under arbitration, not in any other, because that was what we say. It depends. It depends on which of the ADR instrument are you using. Are you using negotiation, reconciliation, and what again, conciliation? If you use these three, the act does not cover you. But if you go for arbitration, arbitration is the one that carries act. Like what you are quoting there over there, the federal law. It's almost a federal law here too, because it's an act of parliament.
But why, if it's a federal law here, why does it have to be pending on the parties? Agree. Let me answer you on that question. You have to tell you that it is the party that brought their matter before the court. The only matter that it is the government that brought is crime. You've committed crime. When you commit crime, you have committed an offense against the state, not the individual again. So the federal, those police you are seeing, they are the federal. They will apprehend you and take you before the court. So this other one, they are purely dependent on the litigant. Do you want your matter to go to court, or do you want your matter to go to ADR? So it depends on them. Or you want to say, they tell matter. Okay, we'll get to know whether it isn't about his father
Likes
would
it.
play,
Yeah, love
would
it.
likes it. Okay, so that's very beautiful. Thank you, sir, for that
Yes.
explanation. Yes, we are still waiting for your comments, and of course, we are still on the topic litigation and alternative dispute resolution. We are still waiting for your comment. Please do well to send it in. But let's take a short break. When we come back, we continue from here.
Dear esteemed viewer, when moments matter, when memories must live forever, Starcross Television is here to capture it all. We warmly welcome you to another season with us. We are fully prepared and passionately committed to bringing your celebrations, milestones, and visions to life because you are the reason we exist. From the beauty of traditional marriages to sacred marriage blessings, from colorful birthday celebrations to purpose-driven send-forth ceremonies, from grand project unveiling and honorable celebrations of life to joyful child blessings, from launching and inaugurations to music concert and spirit-filled fellowship celebrations, we cover it all with excellence. Not to forget, we also deliver top-quality music videos, film production, eye-catchy screwbars, exciting jingles, and so much more. At Starcross Television, we don't just record events, we tell your stories with professionalism, creativity, and passion. For more bookings and inquiries, please contact +234 704 554 1089, +234 809 473 5538, or +234 814 083 6948. Starcross Television, the voice of the universe. Keep watching, keep believing, keep celebrating with Starcross TV. Hashtag support Starcross TV. Hashtag voice of the universe. Hashtag keep watching Starcross TV, God's own TV station.
back. It gives me great pleasure to know that you're still staying glued to Starcross Television and, of course, to the program Regnum Continuous Legal Education. We are looking at the topic litigation, understanding the differences between litigation and alternative dispute resolution. I believe if you have been with us from the beginning of this program to this point, you should be able to tell the differences, which one is more preferable. But I think for this discussion's sake, my resource person here has been able to outline that ADR in cases is more preferable because of the end product, which is a win-win, and of course for a peaceful
litigation.
We will get back there.
Yeah.
Let me officially welcome you back.
Yes.
You know, when you're sitting with a senior learned colleague, you have to be humble.
Yes.
So I have to be humble on this sense. Welcome back, sir.
Welcome.
All right. So
Thank
you
you.
wanted to say something?
Yes. It's not like ADR is preferable, but if you ask me, I would say yes. But it has a clause.
It has a
because
clause, okay.
litigation has appellate. Litigation does not end in the first court of instant. If you don't like, if you say, like we say, win-lose, you can go for appeal. Magistrate go to high court go to appeal court go to Supreme Court. Those are the good aspect of litigation, which is not found in ADR. ADR is win-win.
Okay.
Lose, but they hardly lose. But let me say lose because one person will not win and one will not lose in ADR.
In ADR.
But if you ask me as per arbitration, there must be a loser, there must be a winner too.
Okay, so
and that's why it's called award. There will be award there, which is binding on the parties.
Okay. So now you said something about a lose-lose for ADR. So now, for example, let's say, let's leave away bigger company and maybe let's bring in two countries struggling for maybe a particular, for a particular land or state or depending, and now they have come to accept ADR to resolve their conflicts. And now in the issues of maybe lose-lose, who now takes
the scenario you just
results?
painted is high-stake cases. Two countries, they hardly go for ADR. That's why we have the Hague. They must always go for litigation because a document will be presented, witness will come, treaties. That's international law.
Yeah.
You hardly can go for ADR between countries, but you can go between companies, foreign companies. Let's use foreign companies. Foreign companies often like ADR.
Okay.
They prefer ADR because of confidentiality. They need that confidential. You don't have need to expose them. Like Shell versus Ajibode. Those are high-stake cases in ADR that ADR can handle.
Okay.
Not the other aspect. We're talking country is Hague now. We have International Court of Judges at the Hague that will listen to them because that one will mean a lot of other things. Treaties will be involved. But in a company affair or a company country, that one ADR can go because, as I've told you, when they were drafting their MOU, they included it, they enshrined it there, that please, if any dispute arises in this matter, we prefer ADR because of the confidentiality and time.
On time, okay, involved. All right, thank you so much, sir. So we are still waiting for your comments. If you have any questions, please do well to send in your questions. We are still open to discuss or to answer that. Yes, remember, I can't ask all that is in your mind, but I'm trying. I'm trying, but I can't ask all that is in your mind. Maybe you have been in a situation where you have to employ litigation, or maybe you want to see the need to employ ADR. Please do well to ask the questions here, and definitely your questions will be answered. Now I have these few observations to make based on what you have said. And now to look at it, I understand that litigation dominates constitutional. And please correct me if I'm wrong.
You're right.
Litigation dominates constitutional and political disputes.
Yes.
And of course, ADR dominates oil, gas, tax, and commercial contracts. How true is that?
Yes, that's why I say it depends on the parties. It actually depends on the party because from my readings, I've seen that those are why they say high-stake cases. I'm still using it.
Yeah.
Those people, they are bigger company that you see. The example I said that time was Shell. They are that oil, gas we are talking about there. They prefer ADR because of confidentiality. They don't want to be exposed because of the environment of ADR and environment of the litigation. That is purely what you have read there is Absolutely.
Okay.
The other one covered this one, why this one covered. You know, they are all bigger company actually. That's the point I say. They put it there. It's not that you can't drag them to court. You can drag them to court, but if they have enshrined it, they are putting in their MOU. There's no point. There's nothing you can do now because it's a document which they have vouched. By the time they are signing things, they've signed that if anything dispute comes of this, what we'll have. This is how we want it to be treated. So that's it.
All right, thank you so much. Now, let's, you actually looked at about two Western countries that I mentioned. Now, let's move to a few other African countries.
Okay.
Because I think it would be better when we look at Nigeria and countries, you know, mostly associated with them in terms of history.
Okay.
So now let's look at South Africa, litigation in South Africa.
Okay.
Now the court structure for South Africa, we have the magistrate courts, we have the high courts, we have the Supreme Court of Appeal of South Africa, and we have Constitutional Court of South Africa. Now for the features of this, we have based on Roman Dutch law and English common law, strong constitutional litigation culture. Remember, we are talking about litigation and ADR. Strong constitutional litigation culture. We have active judicial case management and of course generally efficient compared to many African jurisdictions. Now now let's go to ADR.
No, while we are talking about that, let's go to you see
South
South Africa just got their independence of recent now. That is
you're making it look like it's just yesterday.
It's just because me at my age I know it's just yesterday.
Okay.
Nigeria had their independence since a very long time ago. We fought for independence for South Africa. So what you are reading now is that the whites institutionalized their grounds there enough time. If we had allowed the white to be here, those things we are reading would have been properly instituted here. But we are not perturbed because we are happy that we are moving forward in Nigeria. So what we are seeing in South Africa is that purely Dutch and European culture are embedded in their country because they've just been given independence not long ago. That means the whites are still there, and they institutionalize a lot of institutions that are very functional and effective over there.
All
so
right,
go to ADR there. Let me see what is happening.
Okay, now for ADR in South Africa, we have court annexed mediation introduced in civil matters. I have to take that again. Court annexed mediation is introduced in their civil matters. We have arbitration widely used in commercial disputes. Strong enforcement.
Arbitration in commercial dispute, good,
yes.
Yeah, because that one has a word. But civil matter now is mediation.
Mediation,
good.
Yes.
So
we have strong enforcement framework, and Johannesburg is an emerging arbitration. Okay, I feel that I just mentioned a particular site for that. Now for Kenya, let's go to Kenya. Okay. Sorry, we have to look at this so that we understand how better Nigeria is functioning in terms of the use of litigation and ADR. Now for Kenya, we have magistrate court. I'm looking at their structure.
That's the first court.
High Court, Court of Appeal, Supreme Court of Kenya. Now for the features of litigation, we have strong constitutional litigation since 2010 Constitution.
2010.
Yes, Constitution. Okay. We have increasing judicial reforms and still experiences case backlog. How can you explain that? That there are still experiencing case backlog.
Case backlog is that if you look at, that means ADR is not functional in that country.
Okay, let me take the ADR.
Let's finish the way it comes. Okay. The way it comes, we call it eggshell case. The way it comes, we take it there. Why? Because ADR, we have backlog of cases. Now that's why most people prefer ADR. Even in so many jurisdictions, we have backlog of cases. So that is why in litigation, we don't buy in market. We don't just go and buy and come and, we just have to take part through the rigorous nature of adjudication. That now causes this backlog of cases because daily cases are instituted in court. Meanwhile, the first one are still ongoing. That's what you experience in Ghana now. So let's see the ADR. I mean in Kenya.
So now for the ADR aspect, we have judiciary promotes court annexed mediation, arbitration governed by Modern Arbitration Act and Nairobi, growing as East African Arbitration Center. Okay, sorry, I didn't mention this. In Nigeria here we have Lagos as the arbitration center.
In Calabar, we have a court called multi-door court.
Oh, okay.
Are you aware of that?
No.
This is what we have multi-door court. Multi-door court is a court, but it's operated in form of ADR. just purely ADR, like what they are talking here. I've heard them say. In Calabar, we have it, multi-door court. It does not. Things that are not done there as it is done in a normal court. We call it multi-door court. It's purely ADR in court.
Okay.
That is so many. That's the name, the acronym they give to the court. But what does it entail? Litigation. I mean, adjudication there is different from pure court action.
Okay.
It's purely ADR approach.
Wow.
So let's go.
All right, thank you so much. I believe our audience, you're actually following, because I'm following as well. So I believe, I know as a law practitioner, law student, you should know more of what we're discussing here. But if you're not, keep paying more attention, or better still, go back to watch. You'll get more understanding towards what we are discussing here. Now let's go to Ghana.
Okay.
Ghana really interests me more
Ghana
because
is
it's
there
just
with us.
behind us here.
Okay.
So now for litigation in Ghana, so looking at the court structure, we have the district court, we have the high court, we have court of appeal, and Supreme Court of Ghana. Now for the features of litigation, we have common law system. I think in Nigeria, do we have something like that?
Okay, let's come in there. You see, we will not talk about customary court here in Croix State. Let me use our state now. Okay. We have customary courts here, operational. They have appellate directly. We have customary court of appeal. Formerly, they were appealing to magistrate courts. All this, why all this court sprang up is because of a backlog of litigation in the courts. So now, you see, native court. We don't have native. We had it before, but now in Nigeria it's called customary court. And we have our president. I mean, they have their president. They have their judge. They have their own court of appeal. Customary court of appeal. They have their own modus operandi to how they operate.
Okay.
I wouldn't go further from that because where I'm going.
I think you're trying to keep a whole lot from me. I just said.
But what I'm trying to say is that because of backlog, because we are trying to establish difference between litigation and ADR. ADR litigation has backlog of cases, which make it to be time consuming. So the Nigerian government, to be aware of this, they are trying to spread courts. Like customary courts. We have customary court, we have magistrate courts. Formerly, customary court was having the appeal to magistrate court, but now they have their own straight line. After customary court, we now have customary court of appeal.
Okay.
They have appellate court there. What is their own jurisdiction? It's purely on land matters. They have, because they are custom, the custom of the environment that they are. Most are, not all, most of the land matter in that environment goes to customary court. Because they are conversant with, however, it's a high court matter. But because of the terrain, most of them terrain that they cannot have access to the real court. So customary court are instituted there. Okay. To eliminate all this backlog of cases.
Okay, thank you so much. Still as part of the
Ghana,
features.
we are in Ghana, yes.
Yes, still in Ghana. We another aspect, another features of litigation is moderate delays in civil cases. Like litigation moderates delays in civil cases. It also leads to increasing digitalization. Can you explain that?
Increasing digitalization, for example, yes. Last few months, Croix State government organized how we can admit digital evidence, which was not there ab initio. That's what you are now putting here. It was not there.
This is in Ghana. I'm happy
that's
to know
Ghana.
that
Nigeria is more popular, rich, and everything than Ghana.
Sure.
So we took the lead in several things. So now, of 2-3 weeks ago, Croix State government organized how we can admit evidence from our phone, from internet, which was not there ab initio. Our evidence is purely hard copy. But now we can admit, like what you are trying to say, digital. Okay. The world is digitalized. So now, lawyers and in litigation, we admit evidence in digital forms. Although he has his own bars too. Because the person that taught us, let me give you a scenario. The person that taught us that thing was, he said, he went to Europe to go and attend a course. When he got there, along the line, he couldn't be there on the opening of the occasion. He was in his room. Then he has nothing to come and show back home in Nigeria that he was there. He went and told the people that organized that he need his picture to be there in that opening.
Okay.
And they just positioned his picture and put there. and behold the picture. So digitalization has its own advantage and disadvantage. So we are taught on all these things, how to admit them and how to be careful on what you are meeting. Or you as a legal practitioner, even you the practitioner coming in, before you tender, you must be very careful too. Because lawyers are now aware that most things, for example, service of notice, this thing you're just digitalizing, service of notice. Formerly it was in a hard copy, you must present somebody. Now you can be served notice on phone.
Wow. And that's still valid.
It's valid. It's valid. In our phone now, the moment you receive, they will tick blue. Isn't it? That shows that you've received. You cannot come and tell the court you've not received the service.
Okay.
That's digitalization.
In cases of maybe destruction of evidences?
No, we are trying to call you to come. This one we are trying to call you to come to court.
Okay.
One of that is service of notice to come to court. Formally, it must be in person now. That is, you must serve the person.
Yeah.
But this thing that you just read now, digitalization, that Ghana, Nigeria equally, we are on it.
Wow.
So now we can send you notice on your phone. So provided you have your contact, because when you are writing everything now, it is digitalized. You must give us your phone number. Then and then we'll send your processes to you. You cannot come and tell the court that you have not been served, because the phone that they will show us has same blue that it has been ticked.
That's very beautiful.
That's digitalization.
It's good to always, embrace digitalization.
Yes. So
all right, now
Ghana.
let's look to let's move to the
ADR in Ghana.
Yes,
Okay.
alternative dispute resolution in Ghana. So we have the ADR Act 2010, which promotes mediation and arbitration. So we have the courts-connected ADR programs. Does Nigeria?
You heard what they said, that
Yes.
mediation and
Yeah,
arbitration.
and
I told you that those are the
arbitration.
two core ADR. That was when we asked me a question. I say it depends. It depends on which of the ADR instrument are you using. Okay, go on.
All right, thank you. So now we have the court-connected ADR programs. Does Nigeria actually have
That was what I was telling about
Has
multi-door courts.
Okay.
That's ADR in Cross River
But
State.
that's in Cross River. Does it govern around?
Good. You see, we are in Cross River State. I wouldn't stay here to tell you what is happening in Gongola. I wouldn't. But I'm telling you that we use one particular evidence to know what is happening in the whole country. Cross River State, we've developed to the point that we have multi-door courts, which is what you are trying to
But it
do.
might be surprising, because whenever we are looking at constitution law, I think it embodies generally like a country. So if you say in Cross River State we should have, or we have the multi-door court, I think it should be something sane in
what is actually happening, I wouldn't stay here to tell you that it is nationwide, because I don't know whether other states have adopted it.
Okay.
But I am here in Cross River State. I practice here in Cross River State. I'm telling you what is obtainable here.
Okay.
And if it is done in Cross River State, you know we are the set patterns now in Nigeria, the first capital, first everything. First,
Are you sure? Are you sure?
No, you are sure now. Nobody can contest that now. You are a student of history. So if we have started, that means Abuja might have. Okay, Abuja has their Abuja multi-door court. Some of these states have their own multi-door court, which is purely ADR in nature. Like what you are trying to read that Ghana has. We too, we've just brought it in. So that person, for example, what is the advantage of that? Person may not have, that's parties, may not have enough resources to go to court. Because courts, you must pay lawyer, pay witness, as I've told you. Then it comes to you, it comes to the multi-door court. Multi-door court has their own modus operandi, which is purely different from what the court is practicing. So that's why we are telling that we've gone up to that level too, to imbibe or incorporate ADR into our legal system.
All right, thank you so much. That's very beautiful. Now, finally for Ghana, we have traditional dispute resolution is widely practiced.
Let me
in rural
explain that
communities.
traditional. That's what we
Disputes,
saw customary court now. They call it traditional there. We call it customary
Customary court.
because if you ask me, customary court, I just use land. They are, however, in passing, I told you about traditional activities in the community is handled by customary court. A magistrate court may not. A magistrate court in Cross River State, who is in Odukpani, may not know the practice in. A magistrate from Obudu may not come and stay in a magistrate court in Odukpani to know the traditional practices there. So it must be the customary court now, which is called native court there. The customary court in that domain that has jurisdiction to adjudicate on such matters.
Okay. All right, thank you so much, sir. That's very beautiful. We have several, just like in
No,
Egypt.
go on. We like to flow. Let
In
them.
Egypt, we have, I
Okay,
don't know
Egypt.
which is your country. If you're actually watching right now, which is your country, but we won't touch on all the countries. All right, so for Egypt, the features of litigation is, are based on French civil law tradition, formal and document-driven, complex administrative litigation. For EDR in Egypt, do you want to explain that?
No, look, it's almost the same.
Yes, for EDR in Egypt, we have arbitration common in construction and oil contracts. I think you looked at that already. Then in Cairo is a major arbitration hub in
the capital.
Yes, in the capital. We have strong traditional arbitration enforcement. Now we move to Rwanda. Rwanda. Sorry if I didn't get that well.
Rwanda.
All right. So now for the features of litigation, we have post-genocide judicial reforms. I think we actually
post-genocide, that country has been a post-war kind of a country. So this kind of legal instrument is to cope what happened in this war period, which Nigeria has left that aspect since 1970. The Civil War was over. We cannot have that kind of law again. I think, Jeremy, so that is, by the way, in our own side here.
Okay, thank you. So we have fast-tracked commercial courts, and we have technology.
Fast-class commercial court is talking about fast track. Is talking about ADR.
Okay,
that's what we are talking about. The fast track. I told you that the time frame of ADR is faster than litigation.
Okay.
So if you go through that, something now, you see that they will not have ADR. Because that fast track is purely ADR in nature.
Wow. Okay, I can also see that they have also employed technology-driven reforms. Now, for the ADR that you said they don't have, we have here
the idea.
mediation encouraged before litigation.
That was what we noticed there.
Yeah. So now, community-based, we have something like Gakaka system, historically used. I don't know if you have any knowledge about that.
I don't have, but let me go.
It says
I can bring it.
Restorative justice model.
It's just like what we are talking about, multi-door courts. Or let me bring it in again. In so many of our local enclave here, we have chiefs do adjudicate matter in their domain. So many matters are adjudicated in the chief quarters. In so many of, let me use State that I reside. We can coin our own name here. For example, I wouldn't give you that. Okay, for example, I went to Uru. When I went to Uru, I sat down, I was looking for the paramount ruler. They were adjudicating cases there. Wow. Pure cases. They will use before they started adjudication. They can give it any other name. What are we saying is that they use ADR in almost all the facets of the lower cadre of the system.
Okay.
When it became very tense and tedious, we now bring it up to say courts. The courts now will now apply the law to what that will happen if you are not satisfied with what has happened in that kakaka kind of a system.
Okay. All right, thank you so much. Now, I want to be looking at all the countries again. So now, I have a question from all that we have discussed, because somehow I'm feeling like, although you said that parties would, opt in for ADR, it's not the court that offers that.
At times we advise, at times the court advise, but often is the parties that determine where they want their matter to be resolved.
So in a situation where we have the stronger party and the weaker party, for example, we have a company against just an individual. Can the individual, opt in for ADR?
Good.
When the company does not? Can the court grant such situations?
I have already told you that when they were exchanging signatories, it was most often is enshrined there, this company and individual. Because most companies do business with individual and the state. It is enshrined in their MOU that any dispute must be treated in either litigation or ADR. But often it is ADR that they used to elect. Okay. So that's it. It is the party that still elects, not the court or ADR, multi-door. No. It is the party that want their matter to go to either of these places.
Okay, thank you so much. Now my final curiosity question before we call it a day. Now, are lawyers more empowered in litigation than in mediation?
Good.
And why? That's if you say yes, why? If you say no,
No.
why?
I don't say yes. I don't say no.
Okay, so
I say
which-
it depends.
which? Okay.
Let me give you a legal officer. Say it depends.
Okay.
It depends on the party. That is, I mean, the person called lawyer. In ADR, lawyers are not that effective because I've told you one of the advantage of ADR is cost. You don't make much money in ADR.
Wow.
However, there is what the legal profession called pro bono. Pro bono is where you do matter without collecting anything.
Oh, okay. As a lawyer.
As a
Or
lawyer, yes.
a
As a lawyer, we are talking about lawyers here. Your
Yes,
question
yes,
was on
yes,
lawyer.
Yes.
There's what we call pro bono, which is you do matter without a dime. That is because generally, if you go to the history of the law, lawyers don't collect money ab initio when it is royalty that go to read law. If you see our host, that thing that we use, it has something here. Nothing. It is when you are passing in those days, they will come and put something there for you to use and maintain yourself. Because generally, lawyers don't take money at that first time that they started. It is nobility that went to read law. So now that you're talking, that your question say whether which one would they like, Abi?
Yeah, empowered, yes.
Empowered. It's not that they're empowered. Lawyers make money in litigation, but not often, not always too. But they make money in litigation because you must pay their professional fee. If they are traveling outside jurisdiction, you must pay their transport and accommodation. They make that money. But in ADR is just a household kind of business, which you don't travel, you don't do anything. I mean, you don't do much thing. Not that you don't do anything, because what they are doing there is purely their professional job. But the lawyer, that your question is the lawyer will because of pro bono.
I know you don't want to actually say.
No, I'm telling you about pro bono. I'm telling you about pro bono. Lawyers at times do matter without quality they die. So a good lawyer, let me answer. A good lawyer would like to do either both.
Oh,
it depends.
okay.
He can do it. Depends.
It
Depends on the
litigation,
party.
or-
Okay, let's look at the parties now. The other party is share here. The other party is a widower, a widow somewhere. So we go and charge a widow to come and pay you money. Meanwhile, all companies getting.
Do some lawyers actually do that? Maybe like
Most
trying to
lawyers,
charge?
no.
Okay.
I told you, most lawyers do pro bono. I've used that word,
Yeah,
pro
you said
bono.
so.
They do pro bono. It's not that lawyers just go out for money. But they must wash their white shirts. You would not like to see a lawyer use a dirty white collar. Now you will not engage such lawyer again.
That was on a lighter note,
how
though.
does he wash that white shirt? You know, you use white
Yes.
shirt. Let's not go to the car that takes you to court. You know, not like to see a lawyer come with keke now or minibus to court. You know, all these kind of things makes a lawyer. You have to pay your professional fee.
So we'll get back to that. So now, since we are actually wrapping up, are there any common challenges? Maybe when you're saying if you are going for litigation, okay, these are the challenges involved. If you are going for ADR, these are.
Let me give you the challenges. Challenges of if you are going for litigation, you know that it's time bound. It doesn't have time that the matter will end. That's one of the challenges when you are going for litigation. It does not have time bound. Okay. Just the only time bar is when you instituted it. They say it's time barred. Bar, we call it bar, time bar. That means I don't want to. The other word I use, bad, is our English word, you know. But in legal when we say it's time bar. Now, but where it will end, we don't know. But in the ADR is simple thing now. It's not simple thing per se, but that one can tell you 1, 2, 3 months is over.
Okay.
Confidentiality too is in that ADR, but it's not in this one. Cost, I've used cost. Cost very, very important because you must pay your lawyer, you must pay your witness to come to court. You know, you must print your document. Your document will be printed, document photo. You know, but in ADR, such things are reduced. So those are the what will make you to know where you are going. For example, I've told you multi-door court and the court. If you go to multi-door court, it is side by side with the real court. So this last question you asked me will make you to determine which of the court will you prefer to go.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, I have actually learned a whole lot from this program. So I don't know if you as a person, you have actually learned anything, But for me, I know I've learned something. It is said that a word is enough for the wise. Remember, I'm still waiting for your response. I think you know. Someone would say, if you don't ask any question, that means you know all of it. So I believe you've dished out something from what we have said. So, sir, we are calling it a wrap already. What's your advice to those watching as per the topic?
My advice to those watching is that go for the way of peace. Don't go for war, go for peace. Because peace will be the last end that will not take you to both litigation and ADR. However, our court also should not be vacant. Because in a situation that people don't go for peace, they carry axe, they carry gun, the court will be there to apprehend them. So my advice is that live in peace. Be your brother's keeper. This is what we call brotherhood. What is brotherhood? Be your brother's keeper.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. This is how far we can go on this program, Regnum Continuous Legal Education. Yes. Let's quickly look at our Facebook page. Yeah. I almost wanted to leave. Someone would have told me, "Peace means if you don't come back and read my comment, me and you." So from Sister Amama Jojo. She's saying that the court has a known place where it operates. Where does the ADR operate from? Is it the multi-door court same as... Okay, is the multi-door court same as ADR? I think the sister has two questions there. Where does the ADR operate from? That's one question. And the second question is the multi-door court same as ADR?
Okay, let me answer here.
Please, are you in summary so that we can just
the ADR court, the parties and the facilitators elect where they want to stay.
Okay.
I think not like a natural court, litigation, you have a court there. But in ADR, you have the parties and the facilitators can elect to stay somewhere.
Okay.
I think, get me. You know? For example, if it's a lawyer, he can say, come to my chamber. And they will be doing it there without going to court.
Okay.
Okay, the second question is that is multi-door court.
Same
Multi-door court, it is the approach. ADR is a principle.
You know, in ADR, I'm sorry to come in there. In ADR, we have arbitration, we have negotiation, conciliation, mediation.
Those things we are counting is the approach. They are like instruments you use to arrive ADR, to go to the justice of ADR. And to get me? So, like she's asking them multi-court and ADR. Multi-court is not a traditional court. They have their principle, and if you ask me, they use ADR principle to operate. Because as lawyers, we have what we are taught is purely litigation and ADR.
Okay.
We don't have any other thing to say. Okay, if you don't say multi-door court is it's not that multi-door court is ADR, but it's the approach they use to attain justice. What do they use? They use ADR approach, because all these things we are talking, we have like we talk about the acts. Those acts are this instrument binding people operating the multi-door court.
Okay, thank you so much.
For example, let me say answer that question to that person. Because if you go to other courts, say magistrate court has magistrate court rules. Okay. High court has their own high court rules. Multi-door court does not have what they say multi-door court rules. Okay. But they use acts. Arbitration acts to operate.
Okay. All right, thank you so much. That's very beautiful. I believe, Sister Mama, you are okay with it. I think we have so many. I'm so sorry. I wasn't actually...
Apart from that act, they can use the facility, like negotiation, which does not have act. But the lawyer, because most multi-door courts are headed by lawyers. By the time he's doing something, he knows that this thing, I should use negotiation. Okay. Principle. Negotiation has its own principle. And you try to... Because it's all about the two parties getting justice.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so much. So we have from Excellency Hope here. It's correct that the government brings criminal cases to court, but the same government can be sued in a civil case that would require ADR to resolve issues surrounding the case. My take. You got that?
It is don't take.
Yes. Now, still from Excellency Hope, can your guest explain, maybe we'll have to take over this topic, can your guest explain the role of faith-based organization in resolving cases in court? I think he mentioned here already. In Brotherhood of the Cross and Star, we do not go to court, but we offer, peaceful reconciliation between both parties.
Because we have lawyers among us.
Yes. Can BCS intervene in a pending case in court?
Yes. It's a question.
It's a question. We'll talk about that on our next show. So can the outcome of ADR be appealed against in a case where a party is dissatisfied?
It depends. It depends whether
okay, please, sir.
It depends. It depends.
So now he's saying which court actually establishes ADR. So please allow me to just take over to run down all what the person has actually noted. From Sister Gladys Onyebo, thank you, most gracious Abba Father, for being our greater defender and advocate. From Amama Jojo, in litigation we have a judge who preside over ADR proceedings. Now, from Excellence Hope, can you, okay, I think that has been taken from Amama Jojo. The court has a known place where it operates. Where does the ADR operate from? Okay, we have taken that one. All right, from Excellency Hope. Okay, I think we have actually taken all those or exhausted that. So if you have any challenges as per this particular topic, please do well to send us questions. You can, send your questions via our page at our Facebook page, and of course our YouTube channel at BCS Star Cross TV International, and definitely we'll get back to you with the response. But this is how far we can go on this show. My apologies. I know I was supposed to get your questions out on time. My apologies for that. But thank you so much, Christ Ambassador Sia Okuna, for being here. And we believe that your next outing will be much more sweeter than this.
Thank you for
all right, our audience out there, thank you so much for staying with us. For to all Star Cross crew who made this episode worth the while, thank you so much. I remain Peace Smith. Remember, Regnum Continuous Legal Education is back every Friday by 7 p.m. on Star Cross Television. So make sure you stay tuned. Bye for now.